What is going on? I'm ZMOT. As the title says, a war has been started. Gonna quickly go over what the heck a war is, how you can help the team, and just generally try to give some info. Now, I don't know absolutely everything about SimCity, but I've been playing for a little bit, so I'm gonna give you some quick details. First of all, right there next to the airport is the war supplies place. You trade in some details, you get some stuff. I typically, if I see something in here that I hate, such as those stupid green smoothies, I'll just click that red X next to the binoculars. That means that you don't have to sit there and wait. I can make all three of these things pretty quickly, so I will go get that. Plus, getting three binoculars, that's a pretty darn good deal. If you skip the binoculars, you come down here to the anvil. You can quickly get your next war delivery going as well. You can't see how many of these things you need, but you can start the building, which can be helpful. That way you can fly through these deliveries. Getting lots and lots of free items, super helpful. We're going to jump into the war itself. It's in preparation phase. Preparation phase is 12 hours, and then the attack phase goes after that, I believe, for 48 hours. Could be 24. My brain is not answering the questions right now. Bottom line, actually, must be 36 hours because it ends at the same time it starts. That's why we try and start between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Pacific time. Best chance of having people in Europe online, people who work graveyard in Texas, things like that. Our team on the left hand side. Now, as far as our team, you can throw boosters. These are the boosters on our own team. You have to be careful. You can put negative boosters against your own team. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but in theory, you could. Now, there are also a few things like jackpots. Jackpots mean two times mode. You get two times the points for attacking anything that has a jackpot, unless it has a dud. A dud is a great way to make the jackpot useless. Basically, someone puts the two times thing on, you then throw a dud, making their two times now worth one times, because the dud does half damage. They only get half the points. Even better than a dud is an umbrella. If you see someone throw a jackpot on someone on our team, you can throw an umbrella on it, then they can't attack it at all. They can get 0 points against that jackpot. Of course, there are timers. You can see that the level 2 is 20 minutes, level 1 is 10 minutes, then the level 3 that I don't have is 30 minutes. Same thing with jackpots. The times go based on what level they are. Pumps give your team more energy, vampires give your team less energy. You use vampires on the other team, pumps on your own team, umbrellas on your own team, duds on your own team, freezes on the other team. You cannot attack when you are frozen. So when it gets to like the last hour of the war, you'll see a lot of pumps, a lot of umbrellas, a lot of duds, a lot of vampires. It's just boosters come really important towards the end. Jackpots active throughout the entire war. So, next up is this shop on the left hand side. Now, this right here, for example, this deal right here, jackpot level 1, for 500, you get a jackpot. That is an easy way to boost everyone on our team score. That is a massive deal. Anytime I see a 500 price jackpot in the shop, I always buy it. Then I focus on these items on the right hand side. And as you can see by the timer at the top, they refresh every so often. So once we win a war, we get 6,000 war simoleons. That is a big deal. Very helpful. I throw all of my simoleons towards either the 5 for 1,000, which is right here. We get 5 propellers for 1,000, or towards those jackpots. Jackpots are a great winning ratio. They just boost your win rate huge having jackpots. Every team that has ever beaten us has used a ton of jackpots. And then also just having lots and lots of cards available. So getting your cards available to play, the more attacks you win, the more points you get. Those points can be seen over on this right hand side in this eye-shaped thing. Um, Basically, the more points you score, the more rewards you get. So then I would get some boosters in my next box, and then I'd get some cards in that other box. And you also get all sorts of dollars. What are they called here? What are those things called? Sim caches for a win. So you can see right here, we can buy 3 different cards. I like to click on that. As you can see here, I am at 7 out of 30 to get to the next level. I don't care. We're going to skip on that one. Week 14 out of 30 on that one. Also going to skip on that. 9 out of 30. So a lot of the times you'll see a card that's like 0 out of 5, and then you can get a new card and you can use extra items, use your different items. You can see in the bottom right there, I've got a 2 next to the star. That means I can only do 2 different attacks. So if we actually, I can't show you the attacks because we're not in attack mode right now, but there is an option to switch between pumps and attacks, but I can't show you right now because we are in the preparation phase. So, next detail, next little thing here is that who to attack. Now, number one, who to attack is the player with the jackpot on their name. Ideally, every single one of our attacks comes out on a jackpot. That's not always an option, though. Generally speaking, jump into chat or on Discord, talk to people on the team, see who you should be attacking, coordinate attacks, because that way you can knock them out. And when I say knock them out, right here you can see that I've got 15 out of 15 health. If you knock them down to 0 out of 15 health, they can't attack until they rebuild their base. Rebuilding your base is exactly the same as these sorts of things where you have to complete a challenge in order to rebuild that section. So you'd have to do 15 of them, which is a little bit labor intensive, but at the same time, for every single section you rebuild, you get some war items. So you might get a rubber duck, or you might get some war simoleons, or you might get some ammo or something like that. Now, I'm showing you upgrading a building. It's far more simple than that. Typically, it would be like 3 fish or 2 coconuts. It's very, very easy to rebuild compared to the upgrades that I have available here that are just ridiculous. And that's why they're sitting there undone. So, moving forwards here, ideally we knock out people with the lowest possible score. If you click on Wessel Mistalakasako, you can see that their score right now is 0. Click that I one more time, and then we go down. We can see their average score is 2,300. We probably want to leave them towards the end, want someone a little bit weaker. For example, Farhad here, if we click the I again, we can see they averaged 30 points. And the reason why you want to do that is because every time they rebuild, they get more war items. So if we attack someone who's super, super active, they literally rebuild instantly. It's crazy how fast some people rebuild. They spend, I swear, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, like real hard earned cash to upgrade. Now, we should win this war, but if you look at this person right here, level 46 in wars, their average war score is 18,000. So we do not ever attack this person essentially until there's no one else left. Because what they're going to do is they're going to take all of the attacks we throw at them. They're then going to rebuild, take all those free war items we've essentially just given them, throw a jackpot out, and crush our faces. So don't attack people with high averages. Always, always check the average of the person you're attacking. This person, and sometimes you have to like expand it. It'll be in this state. You just click that down arrow, and then you can see this person's average war score is 0. That means, generally speaking, every single attack we're going to do on them, they're going to not get war items, not rebuild, and we're going to get free scores compared to giving them war items, and then they're just going to give it back to us. So, um, often in the past, we've had people try to entice attacks by attacking someone, and it just doesn't work out because just because they're 3,400 doesn't mean that they're not going to do 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. So always take out the weakest opponents first. And on top of that, if we look in my cards right here, there is a card. Now, I said that now, not only can the person who is at 0 out of 15 not attack us, but we can't attack them. They get a shield, and you'll see them with like a blue thing over their map. I should have done this a little bit later on into the actual war, but if someone's got a blue thing over their map, it means like it's like a dome. It means they can't be attacked because they're under shield. Now, that shield means they've been taken all the way down to 0 out of 15. But the great thing about this card right here, if we scroll down, this card right here, the Shield Buster, it actually rebuilds their base for them. They get no war items, and we can attack them again. So in a perfect circumstance, we find someone who's got super, super low level. Let's go back up to dude up here. Who was that? That was somewhere in this neighborhood trying to keep this quick, but of course failing miserable. Where it was like Armad or something like that. Where'd you go? Letterkenny. That's a good name. We're gonna click on Letterkenny. If you haven't seen Letterkenny, do go watch it. So what we're gonna do in a perfect world is someone's going to throw a booster. Oh, look at there we go. There's my cards I can finally use. So what someone's going to do, someone is going to throw a jackpot on to Letterkenny. That's going to give us 2 times score. Now, when you've put a jackpot on, do watch out for duds. The opponents will try and dud your jackpot, as we talked about earlier. But then you're going to throw your attacks on Letterkenny. We're then going to knock them out, get down to 0 out of 15. And then someone is going to take that shield buster, throw that on Letterkenny, and then we can do another 15 damage. So ideally, you can do 60 damage on one single opponent. We can keep attacking Letterkenny over and over and over again, kicking them when they're down, and we get 60 attacks. They get maybe 1 or 2 rebuilds, and we get all of the points. So that right there is the primary reason why we end up trying to trade items. Now, as far as trading items go, you can see here, I do have the shield buster. Not all of the people on our team do have the shield buster. So I'll put in chat, hey, I need 4 gas and 1 med kit. Now, med kits are completely useless to any other card, as you can see here. Med kits basically are not used by anything except for the shield buster. Very, very rare. I don't think it actually is used by anything as we click through all of these cards. So if you have a med kit, throw it up in your shop. I will give you full gold for it. Other players might not have as much gold, but if you're ever selling something to me, make sure you put it up for absolute max gold. It will make it so that you get a little bit of gold. I get to use that shield buster, and as you can see, it's only usable by the shield buster. So I could throw an attack right now on Letterkenny, but because there's no jackpot out there, it doesn't make sense to do that. I'm going to wait for someone on the team to throw a jackpot. um, I don't have any jackpots to throw at the moment because I've used them all in the past, but for a win, we get tons and tons of sim cash. We get tons and tons of war simoleons, so it's worth your effort to attack. Now, if you're new to wars and you only have like 1 card you can use, something like this, you can always use your boosters. Assuming you have 0 boosters and only 1 attack you can do, make sure you throw that attack out there. If you attack even once, you get all of the bounty from the win. Now, unlike Boom Beach, had to throw a Boom Beach reference in there, if you don't attack, you get no rewards from the war. So you have to do at least 1 attack. So make sure you throw at least 1 in there, ideally as many as you can. But there are many, many ways to do it. There are players who just get 60 or 70 war supplies deliveries throughout the war, and then they keep selling their items. You can sell your items in the shop just by scrolling down and getting things in here. One more quick note. If someone was to put in chat, hey, I need 1 metal to rebuild my base, make sure you do not advertise. As soon as you advertise, it gets put out to the entire world. Someone's going to come grab that, and then your teammate won't be able to do it. Now, on top of that, say you've put something in the shop before, we've put the iron in the shop, and then someone from your teammate asks for some glass. The glass you're going to put into shop. Now, the glass is not advertised, but because that iron or whatever the heck it's called is, someone else could grab that glass. So if your teammate needs something urgently, like one of those storage items or a mountain item or whatever it is, make sure you don't throw it in your trade depot at the same time as something that's advertised. Apparently, yeah. So I think that's all I've got, though. Should summarize war items, should summarize the war, how to attack, how to kick ass, how to help your teammates. Being on Discord is crazy, crazy important. That way you can actually ping people when there is a war going on. We try to make it so that we use our jackpots at 30 minutes past the hour or 0 minutes past the hour. That way, for people who aren't on Discord, they can log in and have a general idea of when those things are going to happen. Doesn't always go that way, especially towards the end of the war, but that's a good starting point so that we know when the heck people who are not willing or able to get on Discord, they know at 0 past the hour or 30 past the hour, they can jump on and get things rocking. So that's all for me. Hopefully that sums it up. If you have any questions, comments, hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, keep booming those wars. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. I'm ZMod. Peace.